everyone, welcome back to my Flosstube. Today is January 1st and this is episode 8. Happy New Year everyone. I hope you guys had a great holiday if you were celebrating, and I hope everyone had a really good New Year's. I hope the new year is off to a good start for everyone and you've been getting a lot of stitchy time in lately. Thank you to everyone who has liked and subscribed to my other videos. I really appreciate all the support. Thank you for coming back and watching again. And if you're new here, welcome. I know that WIP parades are pretty popular, so there may be some new faces here, and I just wanted to introduce myself quickly. My name is Christina. I am a cross-stitcher living in Ontario, Canada. Besides cross-stitching, I also like knitting, crocheting, quilting, and reading, but this channel will be mainly about my cross-stitching projects. Occasionally I'll show you my other crafts, but it's majority cross-stitch. So this video is going to be my year-end WIP parade. These are going to be all the WIPs that I have taken with me into 2023. Ones I didn't finish last year. I'm also gonna briefly talk about my WIPGO plans. This is my first year doing WIPGO. Last year was kind of like my first year, 2022 was kind of my first year cross-stitching a lot, where I really got into cross-stitching. So I didn't participate in WIPGO last year. I didn't have any WIPs at the start of last year. All of these that I'm going to show you were all started in 2022. And I'm going to attempt WIPGO, and I'm saying attempt because I tend to be a very moody stitcher, where I just kind of stitch on what I feel like stitching on at that time, and I don't really like being too structured in oh, you have to finish this by this date or whatever. But I'm hoping WIPGO will be some smaller goals, and it'll be a way for me to sort of keep progress on some of the projects that sort of get left behind, that I do really like and I do want to make progress on, but I tend to not pick up. So I want to get some progress on majority of my WIPs this year. So I am going to attempt to do WIPGO, although I'm going to be very relaxed with it, I guess. And if I don't finish it, I don't finish it. I'm not going to really be too hard on myself about that. Yeah, so I guess that's it about WIPGO. I'm curious if any of you are participating in WIPGO too. I've seen it a lot, but I've seen a lot of people participating in it, so I'm curious if you are, and how you structure your board. Do you put actual projects on, or do you just put a theme, or oldest WIP, newest WIP? How do you do it? Anyways, it's been about a month since my last video, and I didn't mean to let it get this long, but I was going to film about 2 weeks ago, and then I ended up getting sick. I had the flu or a really bad cold, I don't know, but my voice was kind of gone too, so it would not have been a good video. Let's just say that, I guess. So I didn't film 2 weeks ago, and then the holidays, everything was so busy, I just didn't get a chance until today. But filming today gives me opportunity to show you all my WIPs. I'm gonna show them to you in order from oldest to newest, so the ones I started earliest in the year up until the most recent ones. Just to give you an idea, I have started 26 new projects this year. That seems like a crazy amount, and I finished 7 of them. So yeah, I think that's not bad for my first kind of full year of focusing on cross stitch. So since I finished 7 of them, that means that I have 19 WIPs to show you today, and I guess let's just get started on it. So the first one, I'm looking down because I have my notes here just to give me all the information about my WIP so that I can tell you guys. So the first one I have is Snow Village by Cottage Needleworks. I'm going to put a picture over here of what it's going to look like, the finished piece. And then since this is my first year doing this, I don't have any previous progress to show you, like from last year, so I'm not going to show you anything from like last year. But anyways, that was what the finished project is going to look like. And this is where I'm at right now. So this is a 32 count linen in pearl gray. I think it's just like a Zweigart linen. I'm using all the called for colors, which is Classic Colorworks and DMC. And I'm stitching 2 over 2. So I finished 2 little squares so far. Like each of these is like an individual pattern. And there's like 3 rows of patterns. I think it's like 11 or 12 patterns total. Anyway, so this, I've done 2 of them. I started this on April 20th of 2022. And I did put this one on my WIPGO board once, and I want to finish 1 square when it gets called. So that would be like 1 whole pattern of these little boxes. I think that's doable. They're not too big. They don't take too long to do. So I think I can definitely get 1 done in a month whenever it gets called. So that's on my WIPGO board once. Okay, and then my next WIP is called Welcome to the Forest. It's by Cottage Needleworks. So this is it right here. So I finished that first top big banner, and then below it there's going to be 3 rows of little squares patterns. I should show you this. So this is what the finished piece will look like, so you guys can get an idea of what I'm talking about. But anyway, so that is where I am right now. And this is a 32 count Lugana in light taupe is the color. And then I'm using all the called for colors, which is DMC and Classic Colorworks, and I'm stitching 2 strands over 2. I started this on May 3rd, 2022. I did not put it on my WIPGO board. I actually forgot about it when I was making my board. I just made like a list. Like I wasn't really keeping track of my WIPs anywhere. So I just like, maybe like last week, I made a list of all my WIPs, and I did that in Notion. And if you've seen Frizzy Lizzy Stitches, Elizabeth, she made this template that you can use in Notion, where she keeps track of all her WIPs and stuff. And so I used her template to put all my WIPs into, and all the like patterns that I have that are ready to go into Notion, so that I could keep track of it easier. And I actually completely forgot about this because it's not a digital pattern, it's a paper pattern. So I was using like my iPad to I have Markup RXP where I keep all my digital patterns. So I was like looking through that to see what my WIPs are. And since this was a paper pattern, it wasn't in there, and I completely forgot about it. So I just added it to my Notion list, and so it's not on my WIPGO board. If you want to see the template that I'm talking about, I'm going to link Elizabeth's video, Frizzy Lizzy Stitches, her video. I'll link it down below so that you can go check out her video, because she explains everything that she does, and it's like an awesome template. Okay, next up, one of my favorite WIPs is Quaker Floral Puzzle by Ink Circles. And I know I've shown you this before. Here's the final piece, what it's supposed to look like when it's done. And then I'm going to show you, this is where I am right now. It's so beautiful. I love this piece so much, and I'm excited to get it done. So I am, if I'm gonna show you, so completely across the top, that's the whole width of it. And then down the side, so this is like this piece, it's a mirror image. So this is this piece. So I have like this much more to go down here. So I would say I'm about halfway. I'm about 50% done on this. And okay, this is a 32 count Belfast linen in charcoal, just by Zweigart. I'm using all the called for DMCs, and I'm doing 2 strands over 2 on this. I started this on May 14th, 2022, and I've talked about this before. but my overall goal for this project is to be done it by the 1 year mark. So I want to be done by May 14th, 2023. And so I'm about 50% done right now. I put it on my WIPGO board, and I might have like cheated a little bit, but I made my WIPGO board after the calls had already been made. So I just stuck this one in the January call so that I could work on it in January. Because I do want to complete it before May 14th. I didn't want to put it in like a random spot and then it doesn't get called till like November or something. So I put this in the January spot. So for January, my goal is to get to 60% completed by the end of this month. And then I've calculated that in order to get this done by my goal date, I need to do about 15% per month. And I think that's doable. I'm not really concerned about not being able to do that. It's a really fun stitch, and it does go quite quickly once you get, although there is quite a few color changes, which does slow me down a bit, but I mean, it's fun to stitch on, and so I enjoy working on it. So I'm going to get to this one this month and get to the 60% mark, and then I'll have to do about 15% per month, and I should be done by the end of April if I work like that. It gives me a little bit of room because I'll only have to do about 10% in April, and then I'll still have about 2 weeks in May before the 1 year anniversary comes up. So I should be able to finish this well before the anniversary. And I'm really excited because I'm so excited to get this like framed and hung up on my wall because it's so pretty. Anyways, there was the colors. It's all tangled because I use them. Using them off my floss drops, but those are the colors for it. Okay, my fourth project, my fourth WIP that I have is one of my my first full coverage piece. This is called Trimming the Tree. Here's the picture of the finished piece. The artwork is by Terry Redlin, and it's charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. I am doing it on, I'm going to show you where I'm at right now. And this is in my Q-snap because I'm actively working on this right now. And don't mind all these threads, they're going to get cut off eventually, but try and keep up to the side so you can see. But there's the piece. And so this is like the start of the roof. So we got the tree above, and then we got the start of the roof. The little white dots you can see are just stitches that I haven't finished yet. I have to go in and complete this, but this is like one page, so once I finish this little corner, that'll be like one full page completed. And I'm really excited about this. I'm really enjoying working on this right now. I pulled this out just like just after Christmas, and I started working on it again. So this is a 25 count Lugana. I don't know the exact color. It's some type of cream color. I don't know what it's exactly called. And it is, I'm using all the called for DMC colors. There's 88 colors in this, and I'm stitching with one strand over one full cross. I've since learned about like tent stitching, but I didn't do that when I started this, and so I'm just going to continue with the full cross, 1 over 1 full cross for this piece. In future full coverage pieces, I may do tent stitch, but the ones I have started already, I'm going to continue with my full cross instead of tent stitch. And so the total size of this chart, it's a big one. It measures 700 stitches wide by 403 stitches high. So that's a lot of stitches. I think it's like over 300,000 stitches total. And I started this on May 30th, 2022, although I think I've only had less than 20 active stitching days on it. Like I put it away for a long time and I didn't work on it. So I've only had about 20 active stitching days on it since then. And I'm currently sitting at 2.7% done, which is about 7,500 stitches. I did put this on my WIPGO board twice. Once in the for the January calls, which I knew it was I knew what number was already called, so I stuck this one in the January calls. And then it's like on again a second time on a random number. My goal each time that it's called is to get 5,000 stitches done on it. So I'm going to work on this today. And I'm off work today and I'm off work tomorrow. And I think on days that I'm off, I can get about 1,000 stitches, like 800 to 1,000 stitches on a day off. So I'm hoping to do like some pretty good progress, like make a big chunk of it done today and tomorrow. And then I'll be able to get the rest of it done throughout the month. But yeah, this is really fun to stitch on. And I can't wait to see like as the picture keeps forming, because it's been really exciting. Like for the most part, I was like just trees, and now I'm finally getting into like actually seeing some more of the picture, which is really exciting. So anyways, that is trimming the tree. And I'm like fully aware that that's going to be like a years long project. Like that's not going to be completed anytime soon. So it'll probably be, if I do WIPGO, if I decide to do WIPGO again next year, probably put it on my WIPGO board again next year. I do plan to stitch on it like more than just the 2 months that it's going to be called, because I do want to make some good progress on it, but for like sure just those 2 months, and then anything extra will be just, you know, extra icing on the cake. Yeah, anyways. Okay, the next one that I'm gonna show you is called, it's another full coverage piece. This is the finished picture. It's called Magical Merry-Go-Round. The artwork is by Josephine Wall, and it's charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. Okay, so this is where I'm at on it. I don't have a lot of progress. Let me try and fold it, because this, and I'm sorry for the wrinkles. Like I did not iron anything because I don't iron before I do these videos, and I'm sorry if that bothers you. I probably wouldn't film if I had to iron every time. Anyways, this is where I'm at on this one. This is a 28 count Lugana, and I'm doing one stitch over one, one strand over one full cross. See if I can get in. There's not really much to see because this is kind of like just like the background area. There's not really any like defining features yet. It's just sort of background. So it's a little bit like difficult to make progress because you feel like you're not getting anywhere. Like everything just looks the same. But I do really like the colors, and I really like this picture, so I do want to like work on it. I'm using all the called for DMC colors. There's 89 colors in this one, and the total chart measures 700 stitches wide by 523 stitches high. This one is over 300,000 stitches too total, but I don't know the exact total. I started this on June 10th, 2022, and I'm currently at 0.9% done on this, which is about 3,400 stitches. So I haven't even hit the 1% mark on this yet. This one is kind of like, the other one is more of a focus than this one. So this one kind of is just like on the back burner, like when I need a change, then I'll pick this one up. So I did put it on my WIPGO board once. My goal is 2,000 stitches on it because it's just like a secondary full coverage piece. It's not my focus one. I just want to get 2,000 stitches on it whenever it's called. Okay. Next up we have the Heirloom Nativity Sampler by the Victoria Samplers. I'm going to put in a picture of what the finished piece will look like. And I've shown you this one before as well. And try and just straighten it out a little bit. Okay, this is where I am right now. This is a 32 count Belfast linen. The color is Smoky Pearl, and I'm stitching with 2 strands over 2. Oh, the star. There we go. The little star gem thing. I did my own conversion for this. I can't remember what it was called for. It was it was like a big variety of what it was called for, and I did my own conversion for it. So I used like majority of it is DMC, and then there is this color right here in this line is a Gloriana silk, but the majority of it is DMC. And then the metallic thread, I can't remember if I grabbed a DMC like metallic or if it's a Krynic. I can't remember exactly what I used for that. I started this on June 18th, 2022. And I did put it on my WIPGO board, so whenever it gets called, I would like to finish the piece. It's not a huge piece, and I'm probably about 30% done, I would say. And so whenever it does get called, I would like to finish it. So that'll be a finish. Hopefully will be a finish in 2023. Next up we have, this one is called, let me try and fold it better so you can see it. But I'm going to put the finished piece up here. It's called All Creatures Great and Small. It's by Barbara Anna Designs. And just a really nice piece. And so this is where I'm at. I started in the center. So I did this center wreath and then the tree here and the people. This is a 32 count Lugana and the color is light taupe. It's like a kind of light brownish beigeish color. And I'm using the called for anchor floss. So in the pattern they call for anchor, not DMC. So I was looking at converting it to DMC, but my local needlework shop has anchor anyway, so I was like, I'll just get the anchor instead. Then it's exactly the colors that they called for. I started this on July 16th, 2022, and I put it on my WIPGO board twice. So once, where I've started, I've almost completed a page. So I did put it on once to have the page finished, to finish that page. And then the second time it's on there, I want to do another 1,000 stitches on it. So whenever that gets called, that is All Creatures Great and Small. Okay, so we are on number 8 out of 19. This was my birthday start this year. So my birthday was on July 30th. I didn't actually start it on that day. I started on August 1st because I was busy. But this was the one I picked out as my birthday start for the year. And this is, again, there'll be a few little threads. They'll get cut off eventually. But this is Pandemic by Long Dog Samplers. I'm going to put a picture here of the finished piece so you can see it's quite a big piece. So it's a little intimidating that it's so big, but it's beautiful and I really want to finish it. I really want to get it done. Everybody's I've seen that has finished it, or even just like in progress photos, all of them look amazing. And so I'm so excited to do this. This is where I'm at. And I love this motif that's done. That's almost done. I have just the bottom part here to finish of it. It's so beautiful. This is a 25 count Floba Lugana. I'm not sure what that is, but that's what it was labeled as. The color is natural, and I'm doing one strand over one. I'm going to try and zoom in a bit so you can see what it looks like. Sorry for the shadows. The light is not great today, but it's what I got. I'm using DMC 632. So there's the thing, there's the thread right there. And I started this on August 1st, 2022. And I've done 4,500 stitches on it so far. So I put this on my WIPGO board twice. This is like almost a page done here. I almost have like 2 pages completed on it. There's like a page over here and then a page here. So I put it on my WIPGO board twice, and each time I said I wanted to finish a page. So I want to finish the page that's already started. If I do work on this like before it ends up getting called, because I might, because I do enjoy this one, then I might adjust my goal, and I'll probably adjust it to about like 2,000 stitches maybe on it on the month that it's called, if I've already completed that page, that if I've already completed one of those pages, then I'll have to just adjust the goal. But for now, if it gets called before I even work on it, then it'll be to finish the page that I'm on. Okay, next up we have, this one is called Ackworth Patchwork Sampler. It's by a shop called Vivsters on Etsy. I'm going to put a picture here of what it's going to look like when it's finished. And then I'll show you where I am. Get my threads out of the way. I'm trying to remember which way this goes. Okay. I'm not sure what this fabric is that I'm using. Again, threads all over the place. I'm sorry, they'll get cut off. I can't remember what fabric this is. I think it's a 25 count Lugana. And I'm using all the called for DMC. Let me try and zoom in on these ones. These are so pretty. I'm using all the called for DMC. And I'm doing 1 strand over 1 on this. I started it on August 7th, 2022. And I did put it on my WIPGO board once. And when it gets called, I either want to finish like 1 big square or like 2 smaller ones. 2 to 3 smaller ones, depending on the size of them. And this is kind of just, this isn't one that I'm like itching like to finish really quickly. It's kind of just a piece I have when nothing else seems like I want to work on it. I like to keep these more like easy or geometric type pieces up in my office so that I can work on them on my break or my lunch from work. And so it kind of just gets slow progress, but I don't mind that. So I only put it on WIPGO once. Okay, next up we have another full coverage piece. This is a mini. So if you are like familiar with full coverage, if you're not familiar with it, they have full-size pieces, which is what the other 2 I showed you were. And then they also have minis. And these are smaller versions of the artwork. It's the same artwork and it's still the full picture, but it's less stitches. And so sometimes the detail, it's not as detailed, but you really just need to look at like the mock-ups and see, because some of them look fine as a mini version, but some pictures that are like super detailed, you do lose a lot of that when you do a mini version. This one is a mini version because I looked at the mock-ups and I actually saw somebody who did a completed one, and it still looked really nice to me as mini. So I was like, okay, I'll just do the mini version of this one. So I'm going to show you the picture. It's called A Real Snow Job by Jane. The artwork is by Jane Wooster Scott, and it was charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. Again, I'm not sure. Here's where I'm at with it. Again, I'm not sure what the fabric is. I can't remember. I think it's a 28 count Lugana. And it's probably light taupe. It looks similar to the light taupe. I'm using all the called for DMC, which is 88 colors. So the mini ones still have the same amount of colors. It's just the amount of stitches, like high and wide, is a lot smaller. So this one, the total chart size is 275 wide by 231 high. So it is a lot smaller than the other ones. And you can see like this much, just this much is already 4.6% done. I've done 2,900 stitches on it. So you can kind of see the difference, because trimming the tree, I had 7,500 stitches done already and it was only 2.7%. This one I only have 2,900 stitches done and it's already 4.6%. So it is a lot smaller. I didn't put this on my WIPGO board because I already have 2 other full coverages on there, and I just didn't want to overwhelm myself with another full coverage on my WIPGO board. So I didn't put this on there, but I'll work on this like whenever I feel like it. As I said, I'm kind of like a moody stitcher. I just pick up what I feel like working on. Okay, next up, number 11, we have Trick or Treat by Cottage Garden Sampling. So here's a picture. Oh, wait. I have the pattern to show you. Hold on one second. Let me get it out. Okay, so there's the pattern. That's what the finished piece is going to look like. I don't have to insert a picture because it's right here. And I was working on this around Halloween this year. So it's, okay, so this is where I'm at on it. It's really pretty. I really like it. So my goal, like this past year when I was working on it, was that I wanted to get all of the border done, which I did. I managed to do. And this piece I already had done because I started here, and then I did all the border. And then I had some time before the end of the spooky season. So I did this square here. This is a 40 count Newcastle linen. The color is summer khaki. And I'm doing this 1 strand over 2. I started it on October 1st of 2022. And I did put it on my WIPGO board. I'm just flipping my page here so I can see what I wrote. I did put it on my WIPGO board twice. I don't know if I would love to finish this year, but I don't know if I will, because I kind of only stitch on this like around Halloween. So I don't know if I'll actually be able to finish it this year. It would be nice if I did. But I did put it on my WIPGO board twice so that I could get some good progress on it. And each time I want to finish 1 more of the square. Doesn't matter which one, I can pick which one I feel like working on when it gets called. But yeah, I want to finish like 1 more of the square. So I'll have 3 total, and then I'll have 5 left to do still. Okay. Next up is another Halloween piece. I don't work on a ton of Halloween pieces, but I did actually start 3 this year. One of them I showed you a while ago because it was a finish. And then that one I started, and then I had this one here that I also started. And I'm sure you've seen this one around. It's a very popular piece. It's called Halloween Quaker by Lila Studio. And so here's a picture of what the finished piece will look like. And then here is where I'm at on it. It's not a huge amount of progress, but I think it's decent. I started it on October 16th of 2022, and I only worked on it for about 2 weeks, from the 16th until Halloween, and then I put it away. So this is about 2 weeks worth of work. This is a 25 count Lugana, and the color is Stormy Night, I think Vintage Stormy Night by Zweigart. I did the DMC conversion that's in the pattern. So I'm using all DMC colors, and I'm doing 1 strand over 1. Like I said, I started on October 16th, and I put this on my WIPGO board once, and whenever it gets called, I would want to do 2,000 stitches on it to give me some progress for this year. But that is another really pretty piece. Now we're moving into my fall, winter, Christmas stuff. The next piece I have is called Christmas Quaker 2 Songs of the Season. It's by Bygone Stitches. It is, I'm going to show you, I'll put in a picture here of what the finished pattern will look like. And then I will show you where I am. So this is it right here. And this is a 32 count Belfast linen. I'm not sure of the color. Oh wait, does it have it? I don't have a color written on it, so I'm not sure what this color is called. Kind of like similar to like the summer khaki one, but I'm not sure exactly if that's what it is. And then the colors that I'm using for it are right here. Oh, I just dropped it on the floor. Anyways, there's the green. And let me grab 1 second. Let me just, jeez. Okay. And then there is the red. So the green is DMC 936, and the red is DMC 3777. I'm doing 2 strands over 2 on this, and I started it on November 1st, 2022. I did put this on my WIPGO board once, and I want to finish the page that I am currently working on, so just finish the page. I think, yeah, their pages actually go this way. So I just want to finish the page that I'm working on that. So there you go. Next up we have Fall on the Farm by Little House Needleworks. So here's a picture of what the finished piece will look like. It's another like series of patterns. And so I have, okay, this is where I'm at on it. I've only done like the outline of the first pattern and then like a little bit of this roof piece. This is a 36 count Edinburgh linen Vintage Country Mocha is the color. I'm doing the DMC conversion from the pattern, and I'm stitching with 2 strands over 2. I started this one on November 8th, 2022, and I did put it on my WIPGO board twice, and so each time I'd like to finish 1 square. So the first time finish this square, and the second time do another square. And that'll give me some good progress. I think there's 9 squares total on this one. You'll be able to see one from the finished piece. Okay, next up I have Kringles by Little House Needleworks. So this is a picture. Here's the finished pattern. And I only have like a tiny bit of progress, so that's the only part I have done so far. I did this. This is a 40 count linen. I'm not sure of the color. Antique white, maybe? I don't know. It's like an off-white, like cream sort of color. I can't remember what it's called. And I did this with the DMC conversion from the pattern, but then I switched out like this, the black. They had it as like a 3799, which is more of a gray, and I wanted it darker, so I switched that out to the black. And then the white wasn't really showing up on my fabric, so I switched this out to I think I switched it to 3865, I think. I started this on November 19th, 2022. I didn't put it on my WIPGO board because I don't know if I'm happy with it, with the fabric choice. The pattern is beautiful, and I don't know if I like the fabric. So I might switch, because I might change it to like a 36 count so that I can do 2 strands. I can't do 2 strands on a 42 count, on a 40 count, sorry. It's too thick. And I might switch it to a 36 count so that I can do 2 strands. So that's why I didn't put it on my WIPGO board, because I need to decide if I'm going to restart this one or not. Okay, next up we have 4 left, 4 more pieces. Okay, this one is called On Christmas Day by Janie Hubble. It's in the Gift of Stitching magazine. I'm going to put a picture here of what the finished piece is going to look like. And I'm going to show you. This is where I am at. I only have like a small start. This is a really light blue, so it's you can see it. Like, you can see it pretty well, so I'm happy with it. It's just the outlines, so it doesn't need to be like super dark on the fabric. But I am really enjoying this piece as well. This is a 32 count Lugana in Vintage Stormy Night. I love this fabric. I love the subtle variegation that's in it. It's really beautiful. It's by Zweigart. I'm using DMC. I didn't pull them out. It's DMC 168 for the light blue, and then 939 for the darker blue. There's also some Mill Hill beads in it, which I didn't pull out to show you. I have them, but I just didn't pull them out right now. There's 2 Mill Hill. You need 2 colors of beads for it as well. So I have 2 colors of Mill Hill beads. And then I'm doing 2 strands over 2 on this. I started it on November 27th, 2022. And this is how much I got completed. I didn't put this on my WIPGO board. I'm not sure why. I think because I put the other Christmas one, like Quaker Songs of the Season, on instead. I didn't put this one on as well, because they're similar, like Quaker Christmassy pieces, so I only put one on my WIPGO board. Next up, and I didn't want to put like too many like holiday pieces on, because I didn't want to be stitching like Christmas all year round. So I didn't put that one on. Okay, next up we have, this one is called I'll Be Home for Christmas Advent Calendar. It's by Modern Folk Embroidery. I'll put a picture of the finished piece here for you. Last time I talked about this, I was talking about doing it as an advent, so stitching each of the days on the day, and I started stitching it on the 1st of December, so I did start this on December 1st, 2022, But like I said, I ended up getting sick and I did not keep up with it. So I only have the first 3 days done, but they do look beautiful. I just did not get the rest of them done. I did not keep up with my plan to do it like an advent. This is a 32 count Belfast linen in charcoal. I really love this charcoal color. It's not like a dark black, but it's more of a grayish black. And I do really like this. I think the colors really pop on this. These are the 2 colors that I'm using. So it's a DMC 822 and then DMC 3852. I'm doing 2 strands over 2. And I did put this on my WIPGO board as well. And I put it on there once and I want to do 2,000 stitches on it whenever it gets called. So I don't know if that'll be like, I'll keep going with the numbers or if I'll work on like the picture that's up top. But whatever I decide at that time, I want to get 2,000 stitches done on it. Okay, let me just fold that back up and put it away. Okay, 2 more. We're in the home stretch. So we have, the next one is called Christmas Bells Sampler by Heartstring Samplery. I'm going to put a picture here for you. I don't think you've ever seen this one before because this was a new purchase and a new start just in December. And this is where I'm at right now. That's it. It doesn't go. I'll open it up so you can see. There. So that's where I'm at right now. This is a 36 count Edinburgh linen in the color Flax. It's coming up very cream on here, but it's actually a bit more like, it's got a bit of a brownish tint to it. So it's not really like super cream. I can't really get the color, true to color on here, but it does have a bit more of a brownish tint to it. Then it's not really a cream color. I'm doing 2 strands over 2. And in the pattern, there's a DMC conversion. So I'm using all of the DMC for this, this part. But then I ended up doing my own, I picked my own color for the lettering here. And this is called, it's Gentle Art Sampler Threads, and it's Banker's Gray is the color. So I started this on December 12th, 2022. I did put it on my WIPGO board twice because I really love this piece. So the first time it's called, I want to get to the 25% mark. And then the second time it's called, I want to get to the 50% mark. So whenever that happens, that is Christmas Bells Sampler. Okay, and the last piece, we've made it to the end. This is called Desert Morning by Carolyn Manning Designs. I'm going to put a picture here what the finished piece will look like. It's like a geometric design, just like a geometric pattern. And then this is my most recent new start. I'm going to show you where I am on it. I didn't do that much, just a little bit. I just started this on December 28th, 2022. It's a 40 count Newcastle linen in the color Pearl Gray. And I'm using all the called for DMC and stitching 1 strand over 2. I did not put this on my WIPGO board because this is another one, sort of like the Ackworth Patchwork Sampler, where I just kind of keep it at my work desk and work on it on my lunch or on my break when I need like just something really simple to work on that I don't need to think a lot. These are like blocks of color, so it's easy to just stitch on when I have any sort of break. So that is it. That's the end of my WIP parade. And I want to thank you guys for watching, and I want to thank you so much for all the support this year on my videos, everybody who has subscribed and liked my videos, watched my videos. I really, really appreciate it. If you do enjoy it, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel so you can see my other videos. I am going back to my every 2-week filming schedule. Now that, fingers crossed, I don't get sick again. But I will go back to my every 2 weeks. So the next one is going to be a progress video, and it'll probably be maybe a bit of a longer video because I'm going to show you all the progress from the last month as well. Because I didn't like do, wasn't like a typical progress video. So my next Flosstube will be like my typical Flosstube where I show you progress on what I worked on in the past 2 weeks. So that'll be next video in about 2 weeks from today. I usually film and post on Sundays. So that'll be, yeah, so 2 weeks from today should be my next video. Thank you guys so much, and please let me know. I'm curious to know how many WIPs you came into 2023 with, and do you plan to start more, or do you want to like pare down how many WIPs you have? 19 WIPs is quite a bit, and I don't know, I might try and get that down a bit, but I do really just love starting new projects, and when I see a pattern that I like and I kit it up, I just want to start it. I actually have a ton of patterns still that are kitted up that I do want to start, but I should try and finish some stuff. I think I want to like not go over 20 WIPs, so I need to finish a few more things before I can start some more. But anyways, I'm really happy with all the progress I did this year, and I'm so excited for what stitching will come in 2023, and I'm excited to continue to show you guys all my progress. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today, and I'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye.